friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys and you wonderful ladies, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here. And let's wake up those football gods. Good morning, guys. It is Thursday. It is on the tail end of the week. The weekend is almost here, and I hope that you are doing great. I am excited as can be. I'm finally getting back in the swing of things. Yesterday, had to go down and take care of some rental properties and stuff. Take care of the maintenance. Got to keep the tenants and things happy. And today, I'm getting back into the groove of things. I'm really going to get back into the workshop today. I've got the small Joe Barty trophies that I'm working on, the prototypes for those, as well as the big ones, because we'll be giving away another one of these. This one, as a matter of fact, tomorrow night, courtesy of some of our great fans that have done huge super chats. And I've got to come up with, I've got an idea that I want to work on today, too, about Joseph Heatherly sent me an original Dallas Cowboy Stadium chair from the old stadium in Texas. And I've got an idea. Oh, boy, do I have an idea. This is going to be cool. That is going to be the seat of honor. Yeah, so I've got to go get me some more wood so I can start trying to make what I'm dreaming about come true. I get something stuck in my head and I can't let it go. And it's like, I've got to make this a reality. Although I've been having this stuck in my head about the Dallas Cowboys going back and getting a Super Bowl trophy again, but I haven't been able to make that come real. But it's not from a lack of effort, but I'm still working towards it. So yesterday we heard a report that Jerry Jones was interested in, or infatuated, with Kyle Pitts. And Jerry Jones.
I think that's a part of leadership, is to have some of the guys that have gone before that have been disappointed to share it with everybody involved. For me, it's a reminder. I, too, have been here 23 years. And it is a reminder. I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole.
Yeah.
So I have that perspective.
We want to get some glory hole days. Kyle Pitts. Atlanta is fielding calls for that pick. There's a lot of teams that may want to get the number 4 pick, because they're looking and saying, okay, San Francisco moved up. They're going to want to take a quarterback. The Jets moved on from Sam Darnold. They're going to want to take a quarterback. Of course, the Jags, they're going to need a quarterback. So you may be quarterback desperate and thinking, I need to move up to that 4 spot to get one of those prospects. But then you have Jerry Jones. And see, I'm one who likes to look back at history. And history told us the last time we moved up for the best player in the draft was Morris Claiborne. And we gave up a first and a second to get there, to take him. And that didn't work out real well. I'm not one for moving up into the first round and giving up high draft picks. Speculation is, if you use the value system, basically the number 4 pick is worth 1,800 points. The Cowboys' number 10 pick is worth about 1,300 points. So you have to make that up. So in order for the Cowboys to move up, roughly, you're talking about needing to take your first and second and probably a third or maybe a 4th round pick. Now, they do have 2 third-round picks that they could, you're not missing much there, but you're talking about giving up your 2nd-round pick. And your 2nd-round pick should be a starter, a good starter on your team if you draft well. Now, herein lies the problem for the Cowboys. The jury's out on their number 2 picks. They've done better the last couple of years with the 2nd-round pick, but more times than not, here's been the Cowboys' philosophy when it comes to the 2nd-round pick. They look for, I'll say, scratch and dent. They look for value. They look for a person who's fallen for whatever reason and think this is a guy who should be a first-round talent, but we're getting him at a discount. If we go back for the last 10 years, I want to go through some of the picks that we've done for the last 10 years, starting with Sean Lee. Sean Lee had an injury history in college, but Sean Lee had a great performance. Sean Lee, had he not been so injury prone, probably would be a Hall of Famer. Sean Lee has more football knowledge than anybody else, but unfortunately, he's only had a couple of really good seasons where he wasn't injured. And that's sad, but that one you look at and say, okay, that wasn't so bad. Then 2011, we drafted Bruce Carter. Bruce Carter was okay, didn't stay here for very long. 2012, this is the one that always gets me, and I always look back, and this is my cautionary tale, is we took our first and our second to take the best player, defensive player in the draft, Morris Claiborne. So you got to say that was a fail, because that should have been a starter on your team right there. And herein lies the problem. You may get Kyle Pitts, but Kyle Pitts will eat up 2 or 3 of your picks that are potential people that could help your defense. I don't know how many more points the Dallas Cowboys will be able to score than what they were scoring, 32.6 a game. I don't know if there's enough time to score 50 points a game every week. But, apparently that must be the philosophy for the Joneses right now, because that's what it seems like we're looking for. After Morris Claiborne, we drafted tight end Galvin Escobar. Escobar didn't do a whole lot for us. We got better the next year on D-Law. D-Law, of course, rookie year didn't really play. It was injured mostly, except for the playoffs against the Lions where he got 2 sacks. The next year, I think he had 7 or 8 sacks. The following year after that, of course, was back surgery, 4-game suspension, 1 sack, and then he became D-Law. Then we went to Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory, another one of those guys who had injury issues. Excuse me, not injury issues, had weed issues. One of those damaged goods guys, a guy that should have been a first-round pick, but we're taking him in the second round because, he failed a drug test in the combine. Now, you can look at Randy Gregory and say he has all kinds of potential and everything else. And it looks like, last year he played really well, and maybe he will be a good player going forward. But you got to look at the years that we wasted waiting for that guy to come around. Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith, a lot of tackles last year, had one really great season. The jury's out on him. Awuzie the next year. Connor Williams. Connor Williams has been stable. Connor Williams actually had his best year last year. I'm not going to say that is a bad pick at all. He didn't fit the expectations of what we thought, but he's still a really good, solid player. Tristan Hill, another damaged good guy. Tristan Hill had issues between himself and the coaching staff that ended up having him drop. Now, again, his rookie year, it didn't do much. His second year, it seemed like the light bulb came on and he was playing well before he got injured. But again, the jury's out on him. And Diggs seems to be the real deal, and I'm excited about what we got with Diggs. So from the most point, you have to look at this thus far and say, out of 11 picks, Sean Lee, is definitely there. D-Law is really good, and Connor Williams, steady starter, and Diggs. 4 out of the 11 you look at and say, yeah, those were really great picks. Now, the jury's out still on Jalen Smith. We'll see where that goes. And Tristan Hill, the jury's still out on that. But if the Cowboys are going to continue to basically look at free agency as just something that we have to do, and we're not going to invest a whole lot of time and money, you must hit on your draft picks. You must hit on it. because you cannot continue to reload a team solely through the draft. You have to use free agency. And if you're relying solely on the draft, you can't mess up on anything, especially a high pick like number 2, which is why I look at the thought of trading up for Kyle Pitts and say, I can't see us doing that with the holes on our defense. It's too much draft capital to put up there. And at best, maybe you average 2 points more a game. With 3 picks, if you get 3 good players on your defense, maybe you reduce the other team's ability to score by 4 or 5. But that's my thoughts. I mean, again, what do I know? I'm a guy who has a day job, builds shit, and likes to talk football. But I hope there's a plan here somehow, other than we're just going to outscore everybody every week and we're just going to be damn the defense. Because that's what it feels like to me right now. Cowboys basically spend 2-to-1 offense to defense, and it shows. Hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget, tomorrow night we'll have our live stream, and we'll be giving away the Joe Barty Trophy. And if you're interested in any of the Jobu merchandise, go to cowboyjobu.com. We'll hook up your man cave. We're coming up with new items all the time because you, the fans, say, hey, can you make me something? It's like, okay, all right, we'll get it taken care of. I'm Mark Holmes, and I will see you real soon. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about